There was a Times op-ed. It was a little bit pseudoscientific, but it was basically saying that this study of various people's perceptions of their lives and how they gave their lives meta-narratives and what type of person they thought they were and what type of life they thought they were living and how that corresponded with happiness, how they polled and various measures of feeling happy and fulfilled. One type of meta-narrative that corresponded very highly with happiness was seeing your life as a series of chapters. People who feel like their life it's a book, it's not a series of short stories, it's one novel that has a sense of purpose, but within it there are these chapters where you have these little flag posts and you say, okay, this chapter is over. There's a feeling of freshness and wonder for what's going to happen in the next chapter. And then in retrospect, if you have a design of your life that's this way, you can more easily access these past moments and have these moments of nostalgia for, oh, in chapter 7 had that feeling, and I associate it with those colors and that people and that music. With music, we think about narrative a lot. The arc of a song, we think a lot about, you know, where does this lift, and when there's trapdoors and it goes from point A to point B, and then when do you return, and what does it feel like when you return? Have you returned to a place that is happier than it was the first time around? Is it like a childhood memory that is a sad one? Trying to build that kind of drama coupled with repetition, I think, is when you get into cathartic type territory, because saying a mantra over and over, a loop that goes forever and fades out, can achieve this kind of spiritualized feeling. The first instrument I played was violin when I was 6. My mom's a violin teacher. My dad's a violinist also. My parents met. They were stand partners in the Oberlin Conservatory. I was just taking up the family business. There was this kind of freewheeling way of writing music in my high school circle of friends, where we were remarkably productive. It was a really magical moment where we all kind of played in each other's bands, but there was a purity that I actually still try to chase down. A key moment with music, moving from being a spectator or a consumer to someone that was able to just jump in, wanted to jump in, was going to a music school I went to called Hofbarthelsen. So I would like kind of take the train down. It was a big kind of independence building moment. That was where I actually really fell in love with practicing violin. The building was just open 24/7, but I would go there often after school and really just do the monkish ritual of trying to get better, and the way in which it was a part of my routine that made me like life more. As I've written more songs, I'm less interested in just the craft of it. The whole point is to communicate something to someone and to make someone feel something. I think it's every songwriter's like lifelong journey of moving towards having it just be closer, like an open channel of communication. But I love to binge on music, so much so that I can't listen to it much anymore. And I like to do that because it really puts a stamp. It just adheres to a certain time and a certain set of relationships and a certain place. I think having those chapters are really important to not just feel like this oozing flow of life. To pitch the voice up in Goldenrod was my own choice. I think that was actually based on a Tom York interview that I saw where he was talking about Kid A, the track, and he said something that I thought was so compelling. He said that first it was just raw, a regular vocal, but the subject matter was so personal and upsetting. It was sort of embarrassing to hear his voice say those words, and also just not something he wanted to live with in an unmediated way. Wanting to hear someone else sing those words as opposed to himself. The answer's maybe not, but it's some kind of heart attack. Oh God, go It's come to me. The more I eat, the clearer I see things. I think it was just an idea of mine, being lonely, like I needed to have something to hang on to. Then Bodhi says, "That was it. Are you sorry you're not the other one?" Cinderella. I'm glad to just be myself. It's a pity, though, about the glass slippers. That's a lovely idea.